It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to the beach town vibes. We're laughing or party, you're in for a ride.
Hello and welcome to Drunken Suits, everybody. You might see it's a little bit different today because we have a different host on. We have a temporary co-host, and it is my brother, Colby. How you doing, Colby?
What up, Bob? Thanks for having me on. Sorry to take the spot, Will.
Not taking the spot yet, but this is maybe a trial. Yeah, just for tonight. No, but it kind of makes sense that we're doing this episode on this city because we're kind of famous there.
We have been on the news in this city.
We have been on the news.
They do love us.
Yes, they do. So today we're going to be breaking down Greenville. And for any first-time viewers out there, what we do on this podcast, we break down different cities across America, what they have to offer for bachelor and bachelorette parties, and kind of bring out what's unique about them. And we give a ranking at the end. So the city that we're breaking down today is Greenville, South Carolina. Let's go. So, Colby, this is a pretty cool city, especially you just moved there.
I did. Moved here 2 months ago. So it's been good. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. That's great. Congratulations. So that's it's kind of like your secondary big news in our family, though. So I want to give a shout out to another listener and somebody we've had on the podcast before, Dan, and our sister. They just had a baby, and we just became uncles. Let's go.
Uncle status achieved.
Yeah, can't wait for new baby Declan to have his own bachelor party.
What up, Declan? Message to you in 12 years when you listen to this podcast.
12 years.
Doing well.
I like it. All right, well, we're breaking down Greenville. You're living there right now. So I'm going to start out with some of the most boring facts that we have, but it's good for some of our listeners that are planning a bachelor party. So the area, it's got about 75,000 people. The metro area has about 550,000 people. Do you feel like that sounds right for what you're seeing in the day-to-day?
It's tough to say because when you're downtown, it's kind of hard to get like a feel for all the people that are there. I looked it up and I saw it has like about 7 million visitors a year, which is pretty sweet.
That's huge.
And that's definitely, I didn't look at this up, but I feel like the margin between visitors and actual population is probably pretty high, just because it's not a huge city, but a lot of people do come and visit here. So I feel like, at times it definitely feels pretty populated, but never feels overcrowded at all.
That's pretty fair. With that kind of big area, the average age I saw was just around that 35 to like 40 years old. I didn't see that when I visited you there. I felt like it was pretty young.
Yeah, I'd say that feels pretty old. Obviously, it's definitely a more family-centered town, and that people. It definitely is younger feeling, but I feel like people move here, after college and whatnot, but then, start families and whatnot and stay here for a while.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I can see how it could definitely grow up a little bit, but yeah, no, it definitely is a younger town.
It's like this young professional. Like people start getting their jobs there. Maybe, you mentioned the universities around there. There's Furman University, Bob Jones University, and then Clemson is 45 minutes away. So a lot of the people, once they graduate, kind of go into the city, start getting jobs, and then, build some families around there.
I mean, you even mentioned University of South Carolina is less than an hour and a half away, so a lot of people come in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Furman's real close. Shout out Furman. They lost. They got to the NCAA tournament this year. Lost to UConn in the first round, so can't be too upset. But they got to the big dance, so good for them.
Yeah, good for them. That's
More
not too
than
bad
more
right
than
there.
no more than Clemson and South Carolina did.
Yeah, very true, very true. Really cool. I think about Greenville too is how accessible it is. There's an airport in Greenville for it being this kind of size. That airport, it's a pretty nice airport for what you need.
Yeah, definitely. The airport is 15 minutes from downtown. Um, I know it's like it's got direct flights to Baltimore and Newark. Um, Philadelphia might have a layover, but like I mean, anywhere you want to come from, you can definitely get here pretty easily. And then the Uber, $20 Uber to get downtown. So
Yeah,
if you want to
and
fly
then
in, and then yeah, it's right there.
I was gonna say on the reverse of that too. I think they just opened like Breeze or something, which is like a couple direct flights down to Florida and Atlanta or something like that too. So
No,
yeah,
nice.
not
Yeah,
bad. Pretty
yeah.
cheap
So
too.
even yeah, so I mean, even if you can't fly on flights to Greenville, yeah, Charlotte is an hour and a half away, and then Atlanta is 2 hours away. So I mean, it's definitely very accessible for wherever you want to get to.
Not bad. And then just even the town itself, very accessible, very walkable town. I mean, you got your hills, but it's not like you're in San Fran.
Yeah, they call it the 2 mile downtown, and it's really what it is. You really talk about like a bachelor party kind of um, oriented place. Is that if you're talking about costs, where talk about like Miami or Vegas, where you're Ubering everywhere. If you come to Greenville, you never need to Uber the entire time you're here. You can like wherever you get an Airbnb or hotel. I mean, there's a ton of hotels downtown, but you can walk to every bar and restaurant downtown that you ever need to, and never Uber once, which is pretty
That's
cool.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
talk about
great.
like saving costs and some of those small things that like you kind of think about but don't really think about for planning bachelor parties. It's like Ubers, and it's like like I might spend $50, but when you actually get to it, like, oh, it's $100 Uber for a 10-minute ride. Like that's, I mean, those things kind of things add up, especially if a big group and you have four different Uber trips going to and from your Airbnb to the bar or whatever. I mean, say it's a $75 Uber, like, it's $300 for a single way trip
Yeah,
out there. So,
just like that.
um, yeah, super accessible. There's over 100 different bars and restaurants right on Main Street and the surrounding area, which the surrounding area is a block over and then
Yeah,
parallel to Main Street. I mean, they got everything from, piano bars to your typical sports bars. And the one downfall I would say with the bars in Greenville is that they are very similar and that they are more sports bar oriented and that they all kind of have like the big screens, all have an outdoor area, which for me, like that's great because those are the kind
yeah.
of bars I kind of attract. But like in terms of your nightclubs, really like late night kind of, strip club, nightclub, dance club kind of things, it's not that kind of scene. Um, but the downtown scene, sports club, any kind of sporting event you could ever want is going to be there. So that's what I really like about it.
Huge. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny when you're talking about things to do during the day and night. All you've said so far is bars. That's kind of what I get from Greenville. Is this is just a drinking town, man. There is so many bars and
Yeah.
restaurants and breweries. Like it's insane. It's a drinking bar hopping town made for bar hopping with how many are and how close it is in my head.
Yeah, no, definitely is. The one thing about that though is Greenville does have a quiet hour or like almost like a curfew, but I don't know if it's 10 or 11 p.m. But basically, a lot of the bars and restaurants will shut down a little bit earlier in the night. Um, obviously there's you can find your bars that you need to go to that'll be open late, but they do if your group of guys is like that, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. out to club, dance, party all night long, this is not the town for you. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be more of a day drink into the night slash like early late night, like 12 a.m. like is your really latest you're gonna be having
Hmm.
fun where a lot of people are out. So I mean that's kind of the one downfall to it. However, though, they do emphasize on the day drinking, on the you
Yeah.
know day part of it, where I mean bars are open at 8 a.m. and you can go out, go all to the breweries, go all to the bars and everything, and it's a great time. So give and take, but I'd kind of rather that too. You're not out till 3 a.m. and trying to do something at 8 a.m. the next morning, and you're hungover
Yeah.
for it. Whereas, like, go hard during the day and then you're good for the next day. That's my kind of vibe. So I
Yeah.
love it.
No, I think that's great, and I think there's a lot of bachelor parties that are like that, not looking for the club scene, but don't necessarily not just want to drink, but they just want to, they're maybe they're even getting older and don't want to have a hangover for 10 days. So,
Yeah.
but there's also other things to do than drinking, even though it sounds like this is only drinking. One of the main things, not main things, but really cool things about Greenville is golf. And hey, shout out Masters weekend, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Who do you have winning?
Give me Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, bad take. All right.
Lock it in.
YouTube
If not him, it's
golfer.
gonna be. If not him, it's gonna be Rory back to back.
Rory is a shoo-in for this. They were
Hmm.
drilling him about his food choices and stuff. This dude's confident up there just talking. He's ready for it.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it.
And it's just Rory, one of the greatest golfers to ever be.
Yeah. But speaking of golf courses, within a 45-minute drive, which is not too terrible, there's over 20 public courses. Um, if you add in private courses, you add in about 15 to 20 more. So, private courses you may or may not be able to get on, but the public courses, just 20 different courses in 45 minutes. You're sure as hell going to find tea time for you and all your boys to get there.
And
Courses, man.
with that being said too, where Greenville is kind of located, you're at like the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So these golf
Mhm.
courses, just because they're a public course, doesn't mean they're not nice. You have mountains in the view and stuff. You have different elevations on these courses. These are not bad public courses by any means.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, there's some beautiful courses out here.
Actually, I saw a couple of the courses around Greenville. There's some names that are like the designers. I'm not sure how familiar you'd be, but like Gary Player and Robert Trent Jones Sr. Designed some courses around Greenville, which is big freaking deals.
Gary Player's one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know if you would know that. I'm not too familiar with those names of the designers, I guess, but it's pretty cool when I like looked into it a little bit.
Well, Gary Player, he was a former player and did very well for a long time. I didn't actually know he designed courses, but
Yeah.
yeah, he knows golf.
Also, perfect name I think for a
Yeah,
golfer.
yeah, definitely.
So we're talking about these daytime stuff and different things going on. I think another really cool thing outside of just drinking, and then you have golf, which also is drinking, but the food scene in Greenville is sneaky elite.
It is, yeah, for sure. It definitely is a little bit more trendy, which I have noticed. Um,
Okay.
I don't even know if like trendy is the word, but there's a lot of those like TikTok places where they like try and have their presentation more than the actual taste of the food. I noticed that. However, though, there are some absolutely incredible places, and there's a huge diversity of food places that you can eat, which is very good. And
Now
even
I've eaten
downtown,
there.
there's some pretty like fancy places you can go to. It's like And like on bachelor parties, a lot of time you want to have that like one nice dinner for the
Yeah.
bachelor for everyone. And there's a good amount of steakhouses. There's a Texas Brazilian steakhouse where you can go to the shave the meats right off the post. Um,
Grand
but they have
Bohemian
some
has a great
steakhouse.
restaurant.
Yeah, and yeah, speaking of that Bohemian, a kind of very unique thing about Greenville is they have a river that runs right through the city, and there's a huge waterfall and a big bridge that goes right over the waterfall. It's kind of the main attraction for Greenville. A lot of like, the logos have that bridge kind of picture on top of it. But yeah, there's a steakhouse right on top of it, or right next to it. Um, and a lot of the downtown is kind of centered around that waterfall. But
Yeah. I mean, it goes
there's
directly in the middle. Like, pretty cool.
yeah, there's a ton of good restaurants you can go to, and um, a lot of the restaurants too, being right on Main Street, a lot of them are rooftop, which is like kind of has that little elevated, picturesque niceness to it, which helps. But yeah, there's a ton of like nice restaurants you can do for that one night bachelor kind of thing, one night dinner.
You are stealing stuff out of my mouth. That is, yeah. I
I
have
know.
in there that the nightlife is not that hopping, but their daytime. You got bar hopping, rooftop drinks, brewery tours, and live music kind of scattered around the city at different times. But the rooftops are becoming
Oh,
very cool. I think one of the cool ones we went to. Oh, one thing. So I was going to say a sports bar, which was the Carolina Ale House, and that was a really cool sports bar, I think. One thing in South Carolina, though, just so your group knows when you're planning a bachelor party, no sports betting. That's a tough one, especially going to sports bars and on a bachelor party. That's tough.
everyone knows the guy though.
Everybody
Can
knows a
figure it out.
guy, for sure.
Can figure it out.
They'll figure it out. Yep,
Um,
but it is tough when you're there and you're not like you're like what like you have it right there
yeah.
going.
Yeah, that part, is what it is. But speaking of what you mentioned, the live music part of it, and
Yeah.
actually with spring just starting, excuse me, the live music is really picking up now. Every Thursday in Greenville, they block off some part of Main Street and they have a live performance music going on. And every Friday, they block off a different part of Main Street and have live music Fridays. So
Whoa.
actually, last I don't know if it was last weekend or the weekend before, I was just walking around. I didn't even know this was a thing. I was walking around and I just see like a police car that was just blocking off 3 or 4 blocks of Main Street, and they had a beer truck. So you just go up and buy tickets, and you can just pour your own tap of beer at this beer truck, a wine tent, a couple of different food trucks, and then just live music playing right at the top of down. Um, right top of Main Street. But kind of going along with that though, it's one of those things like, not your typical bachelor party event you're gonna go to, or like, you know, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like it's definitely more of a chill vibe, but kind of a sick thing to go to, get a few
Yeah.
beers, get the boys buzzing, then go downtown. Um, like I
Oh, you
said,
got
it's
to make
a
the most of it.
big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of one of those things like kind of stumble upon. It's like, oh, this is awesome. We can have a great time, and it's like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like those kind of events where it's like you're with the boys, and it's like, oh, live music and cheap beer on the street outside. Sign me up. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
where it is, but I'll take it. 100 beers, please. Um, like
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah.
I think one thing we always talk about on this podcast is the festivals going on in the city, and because I think festivals can be so fun for a bachelor group, especially if you're not going to be there the whole time, or like if you didn't want to go specifically for it, you wanted to check it out some, just like you're saying, get a couple beers, catch maybe a concert or two, and then you head out at the night, like whatever it might be. But like Greenville's got some good festivals coming in. They got the artisphere. They've got Fall for Greenville, which is in the fall, which is like a big food festival and southeast kind of stuff. But like, it's crazy. Like that fall for Greenville one, 60 plus restaurants entertaining it, 80 plus bands like going in. Like, there's a massive turnout. It's like so crazy. I think that's the one we went to. If correct me if I'm wrong, right? Where we went to and got hammered. Go figure.
Probably seems about right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. Like, yeah, there's kind of like two things going off that. Um, One, like kind of things I was mentioning is that like those things are not like real like festivals. So it's not like you have this like huge like crowd of people coming in that's gonna overpopulate it and it feels like, oh my God, shoulder to shoulder. I got like nowhere to go. Like we're thinking like it's more of like a casual thing where it's like it's just the people of Greenville going there and the people that are there for that weekend. Like people aren't flying in for, live music Fridays, but it's one of the things that's like fun to go to. On the other hand, though, it's like we do have these like festivals that come in. St. Patty's Day was the other day, and the entire main street, all 2 miles of it, was completely shut off, and they had live music at every block basically, and people are coming in for that. So like, but that's fun. But then
Yeah.
you mentioned like that. I don't know if you like meant to mention it, but they have like Greenville's like a weird like art influence, and they have down on like close to the river. They have a big art exhibit, and they have multiple different art stores, and they have a big art influence. I don't know if your group's into that, great.
Yeah.
But there's like a bunch of like art museums and museums itself. There's a children's museum, so you have to bring your kid on bachelor party and send them to the children's museum for the day and then go out with boys. Like
I
that's
mean,
what
I can
I'm doing.
see that a big time for like a bachelorette party as they're like bar hopping downtown and then maybe hit some of these, shops and museums, and that's an awesome day. Like that's great. Like downtown really has all of it there, and I think in that art spot you're saying, isn't there a huge stage there too?
There's a stage and they'll do outdoor shows. So one of the other stats they have is they have over 300 different. This is like kind of excluding just like the live music performance on the street. They have over 300 different events a year that they hold. So I mean, do the math. There's 365 days a year. You have 300 events a year. That's only 65 days a year that there's like not something going on.
That was
Versus
good math.
winter, that's going to take away multiple of the events. So like
Yeah.
in the summertime, there's events damn near every day that you can find something going on, whether it's live music down on the street, concerts. They have a bunch of different like symphonies and like orchestra and stuff. So we have a giant theater that they host a bunch of different concerts at. Comedians come by, like Sal Volcano's coming by. Um,
Sal. Let's
what's his
go.
face? What's her name?
Bragazzi. Uh,
Nope.
Bragazzi is
Cat
going to Greenville, I
Williams.
know. Cat Williams, let's
Yeah.
go.
Cat
Okay.
Williams is coming. Dude Perfect is coming here. Who knows that?
Cool. Let's
But then
go.
like a bunch of different Zach Brown band. Todd Childers is coming. Like there's a ton of
Bert
different
Kreischer's coming.
yeah, like there's huge names coming in here. And it's like so where are they coming to? We have a giant hockey arena. It's called the Bonskers Arena. So we have a
Well,
minor
let's
league
get into
hockey
that.
team.
Yeah, let's get into those sports then too.
Welcome to the swamp. We have the
Let's
swamp rabbits.
go.
We have the swamp rabbits. They are not even sure who they're affiliated with.
Oh, we're getting
Another
mobile.
beer.
We're getting mobile. All right.
They have another beer for this.
The swamp, baby.
Um,
Welcome to the swamp.
so the swamp rabbits hockey team
Sure.
in that same arena, they had the first round of the March Madness tournament there. So we had Duke play whoever they played, who Siena absolutely smoked them. Then also like Ohio State, TCU played here, and two other games had the first round of March Madness here. So like that was awesome. We also had the women's SEC college basketball tournament, the entire
Mhm.
SEC tournament that was played here. So I mean, town's popping for that. Downtown again was closed off in a good way. Had a bunch of like tents and music and beer tents and whatever you could think of downtown.
Huge. That's sick.
So like we have a ton of stuff going on. On the other side, we also had a minor league baseball team, the Greenville Drive. We're associated with the Red Sox, and
Minor league? Is it minor or even lower than minor? Like,
it's the lowest of the major league. So I guess minor league. It's the lowest minor league team you could get. There's like
cool.
MLB, AAA, AA, and then we got the single A team. We don't got to go there. I could probably try out for the team and make it. However,
Ooh,
here
okay.
and they have they have games a lot, but they host a lot of events too, like Clemson baseball. They'll come and play here every now and then. So like there's an Easter egg hunt.
I
Anyways,
think
just
I
kind of
saw
getting outside.
bananas. Bananas go there once, right?
Yeah, just kind of getting outside the bachelor party realm a bit. But
Yeah.
on Thursday they have dollar drink nights.
Dollar drink nights,
Awesome.
and then you head out and go to one of your street
Yeah,
fests. You're saying, and then downtown. Like,
yeah.
come on, that's a
Put the stuff put the stuff on the editing. Put a picture of the maps on here. On the other side, they also have a bunch of restaurants and a brewery that overlook the stadium, which is sick. And they have one, two, three, four different bars that you could a foul ball could hit. So like, it's awesome.
So I saw this. I didn't recognize this when I was looking at it from the outside in, but they try to make it look like on the inside a like miniature replica of Fenway.
Yeah, they got the big green wall that's pretty
Yeah.
iconic to Fenway.
That's pretty cool. I mean, like
Yeah.
like what I can appreciate is they're trying out here. Like they want the people to come and they're doing the right stuff. They got breweries right there. That street outside of so we just did a Chicago episode and I was talking about Wrigley and how sick that street is next to it. So that street right next
Hmm.
to this, the bars and breweries there are sick.
Yeah, I mean, the one side of the baseball stadium is Main Street. So like
Yeah.
you can whether you're all the way up north or on the west end, which is like kind of how it goes, you can view the
Nice.
stadium in a 25-minute walk if you're walking slow.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's great, and but yeah, they always got different events going on.
All right. So give me a shout out here. What is the best bar you've been to so far, the best brewery you've been to so far, and the best place you've eaten so far?
Can I throw a wrench in that first? Going, I just thought of this right now. You mentioned a
No.
bachelorette party about. I'm still gonna do it anyway. You mentioned a bachelorette party, like I don't know, 10 minutes ago, and I just thought of it now.
Okay.
I was actually walking around on a Saturday morning. We have a big park downtown as well. It's called Unity Park.
Yeah.
Huge park. They have I'm going a little tangent here. They have a pickleball restaurant. Basically, it's like it's called Pickle Park. 8 pickleball courts, bar, jumbotron, restaurants. Awesome place to be at. On the other side, they have this place called the Commons, where it's like a strip mall of other restaurants and bars and a coffee shop. And right next to us, another brewery. That's a pretty sweet brewery. Anywho, anyhow, anyway, I was at the coffee shop in the Commons, and I was just chilling there. And little do I know, a bachelorette party just walks out of the Commons with all like mimosas and stuff, all wearing like matching hats and shirts and whatever bachelorette parties do. Um, so if you're wondering, do bachelor parties actually come to Greenville? Yes, they do, because I saw one. Um,
Nice.
that kind of was going with that. But it looked like they were having a great time. And it was Saturday morning. It looked like they all kind of went on the walk and got coffee and mimosas. Like, that seems fun.
Nice.
But the Unity Park was absolutely awesome on a Saturday. There's people playing spike ball, volleyball, running around, having drinks, live. The city loves live music. There's a DJ on one corner. there was like a dude with a guitar in the other corner, people just laying out. So that kind of correlates back to Greenville being a daytime
Yeah.
place, and that it is extremely active during the day, and everyone loves to get after it during the day. And when I say after it, not even just drinking after it, like being active. Speaking of, I'll get back to your question in a second.
Okay, I was about to say.
We'll get back to it. Calm down. Stop pressuring me. Um, Being active, there's a thing called the Swamp Rabbit Trail, which
Yes.
is a trail that's over 20 miles long that kind of goes along the river, the Reedy River, the one that waterfall through main town. Stay with me, people. Um, but there's people like running all along that. It's 20 mile, pretty much goes through all the way down to like Lawrence, through Greenville, up to some other city. But if you're running, walking, doing everything on this trail, so if you're into also biking, they have like public bikes you guys can rent and do that. There's a huge group of bikers going through, so it's another activity you guys can do.
Well, then
Okay.
just to piggyback on that, there
Oh my
is
God, we're trying to get
a
through my favorite bar and brewery. What are you doing?
there is a brewery tour you can do that follows that trail, and you can get bikes for it and stuff, and you hit different breweries by just biking on that trail, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
That could be
Goes
fun
right
for a
by me.
bachelor trip. Just drunk
Oh yeah,
drunk
for
driving
sure.
on a bike.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that trail goes like in between that pickle park and those commons I was talking about. So go there, stop, game of pickleball, get 17 beers, and then continue on your way. Um, okay, favorite brewery. Um, I haven't been to many actual like breweries that go through their own beer, but probably New Realm. That's pretty well known
Yeah.
in South Carolina, and New Realm was really good. It used to be an old cigar factory, so it's a really cool factory looking building. But there's like huge silos or whatever, I don't know what they're called, of like how they brew their beer. And then right outside of it, huge open field, another big screen. And they have actually taps out in this big field. But also have really good food. The beer is actually really good and doesn't taste like your typical like local hometown brewery where it's, you know, Tim and Tom brewing up beer. So New Realm, definitely my favorite brewery.
Okay.
Um, Favorite bar, got it's a little more niche, but definitely Jack and Diane's dueling piano bar.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
Went there with my parents, and it was absolutely electric. We had a great time. It was, like it's one of the things where it's like could have just been that the people playing the piano that night were really good. So I only went there one time. Like maybe yes, but everyone there was a bachelorette party there too. They were having a great time. Um,
Let's go.
like it was just so
Bachelorette
much
parties.
fun. Yeah, can't say I've seen many bachelor parties. I could be wrong in that they're not wearing bachelor parties aren't typically wearing matching clothes and
Harder to
hats
spot.
and
Yep.
chanting something about the bachelor, which is good. Let's not do that. But um, that bar was definitely a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot. Cowboy Up, where you and me went,
Mm-hmm.
was a ton of fun. Kind of like a smaller, it's like kind of narrow but pretty long ways. But there was some country dudes singing there, and that was a ton of fun. The whole crowd was getting into it, dancing, having fun, line dancing. They had two floors, an upper floor. Um, they had two live music people going at the same time, and it was a ton of fun. So I'll say those two, Jack and Diane, and the Cowboy Up, were probably two of my favorite bars. My favorite restaurant is probably it's a little fancier place, but it's called Brick Tops. I went there the other day with
Okay.
Chrissy when she was visiting. Um, it's definitely like a fancy town, but it's right on. Main Street. Super nice, really good food. Not like crazy expensive, which I like. If it was crazy expensive, probably wouldn't be on the top. But eh. The one thing, the cocktails were $18, which is absolutely bonkers. That was way too expensive. But the food itself was cheaper than the cocktails. So like
Okay.
that was really good. That's probably my favorite restaurant. Oh, favorite bar. I need to throw in this place called Sip Whiskey and Wine Bar. It's
Okay.
a solely rooftop bar, but it's kind of like pretty open. They had like couches, and it was more of like a loungy bar rather than like a like a sports bar, which is like a kind of different scene, which is nice. It wasn't just straight TVs and everything, which 99% of the time I'm fully for TVs and sports and all of it. But every now and then it's nice to kind of just, have a more loungy, relaxing drink. So that place was really nice. And it's kind of cool. You could like look over Main Street and kind of people watch. But
Yeah, it's cool.
there you go. Wow, that was a long answer for your question.
Sure was. Well, I'm gonna answer my question too on the way back then. So the different breweries I've been to there, New Realm, Yeehaw Brewing, Fire and Forge, and I think of
Ooh,
that. I think of that. Yeehaw was my favorite. I really liked their beers and just good
yeah.
atmosphere there. Um, Fire and Forge though, I appreciated. We were there on Saint or not New Orleans. What am I thinking? Mardi Gras. They got the beats. They were into it. They're trying at
Yeah.
least, which I can appreciate always. Um, Favorite bar I've been to. I think I'm going to bring it back to Carolina Ale House. I love that it's all open. It's sports bar, which is just
Hmm.
my just go tos. I love a good sports bar and rooftop sports bar. The combo is just deadly to me. Um, but there's been some really cool ones. I really like that whiskey hotel we went to. There's some great ones out there. I even at the Bohemian, I had some good drinks on the porch out there. So, but I just love a good sports bar. So Carolina Ale House, taking it on that one. And then the best food I had, you're gonna probably maybe change it, but across the street from Ink and Ivy was that ramen noodle place,
Hmm.
and we got some food there. That was some really good eating right there.
Yeah, it's pretty banging. Can't fault you for that one.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Well, I want to kind of start breaking into then how you feel about Greenville. And before we actually do, because I had one other thing written down that I wanted to get to, I kind of wanted to compare it to other cities in South Carolina. So I had like Charleston is more iconic and better nightlife, but it's also more expensive. Greenville, cheaper, relaxed, easier to navigate. And I want you to tell me kind of anything that I'm saying is wrong or you feel different, right? And
Yeah,
then,
go ahead.
all right, so then the next one would be Columbia, which is more college party, where Greenville is more polished and adult vibe party. All right. And then we got Myrtle Beach, which is just chaos, cheap drinks, and just wild nights, where Greenville is more of a controlled fun and way cleaner because it's not dirty Myrtle.
Yeah, Myrtle and so Columbia, that's where University of South Carolina is. So like you have a like current college atmosphere where like, you know, bigger, more people, a little less rowdy because people are there like 24/7. Myrtle, I would say it's still kind of like the same kind of college kid atmosphere, but people flock there for spring break more so often. So, people are on spring breaks, they're going like crazy rowdy the entire time they're in Myrtle. So that's where you're going to get like that, that dirty Myrtle you were saying and a little
Yeah.
bit more rowdy vibes. However, though, it's at the beach, which is sick. And fun fact, you can fact check me, but I think I heard this somewhere that Myrtle has the most golf courses per like square mile anywhere in the U.S.
Wow.
So like, I'm pretty sure that's right. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty
Well,
sure
we're
that's
gonna
right.
flash up if you're just making shit up or not. So
Yeah,
you're either
I'm
gonna be
pretty
right or
sure that's
wrong.
right. But
I mean, we're gonna
if
do an
most
episode on Myrtle, so don't go too detailed here.
yeah, I'm pretty. That's the only fact. I've never been there. I think we were maybe went as a kid. I don't know, whatever. Pretty sure that's the right fact. So like in that aspect, Myrtle's like pretty nice, but still kind of really rowdy compared to like Columbia, where it's kind of just Columbia doesn't seem like at all a bachelor party. It's just a college town.
Unless you went
Um,
to like USC or something, and all your boys, and you go to a game and tailgate or something
yeah,
like
that
that.
definitely could be it. But it's like if you just did that for 4 years, who knows if you want to, do a bachelor party there. It could be fun if you're that diehard Gamecocks fan.
And
But
there's some hard cocks out there.
there's some hard cocks out there. Um, and then for Charleston, I've kind of got the vibe too. Yeah, kind of the same thing you were saying. A little more classy beach vibe, less, college kids. Feels like a little bit more retirement town, a lot of money.
Yeah,
Um, but I feel like Greenville is kind of like the happy medium between all those three, where it's like, like graduated college kids now with money, but like to be a little bit more classy. We don't have the beach, but we have like a lot of water aspects you can find, a lot of golf courses you can find, a lot of fun, a lot of daytime things you can do. So like Greenville, in terms of a bachelor party, could be a lot of fun compared to the other cities in South Carolina. I'd say probably the next most fun would be Myrtle, just because if you like I said, if you're kind of like the young 20s getting married, that kind of bachelor party where you kind of like go crazy for a weekend, Myrtle's your place. If you're going for
yeah.
more chill beach, you're feeling like chill beach vibes and bars, Charleston's your place. But like if you want kind of like a mixture of both, then like Greenville's your place.
I like it. So at the end of breaking down a city, we always do a rating system. So it's gonna be 1 out of 10. Don't be an amateur. You know what that means. And kind of walk me through what you're thinking in your head right now, and let's hear what you got. Does it? And we're again just for the viewer, we're ranking it on does it match like what all bachelor and bachelorette parties are going to be wanting out of it, out of their trip. Not just like I would have fun there. It's like,
So you want like a universal rating, not my rating of what you think it would be?
yeah, what does this city bring for bachelor and bachelorette parties? Does it bring
Okay.
everything a bachelor trip could want?
When I think my categories, when I think bachelor party, I think food, I think accessibility, I think fun, and I think like things to do.
Yeah,
Food, yes. Greenville food, good. You're not going to be upset with the food scene in Greenville. It's not like you need to like go far to get food. If you want your typical fast food chain restaurants, you got them. If you want local food, you got them. You got diversity. It's like food. I don't know. On the other hand, you're not getting those like Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, Guy Fieri Burger House, like things are like in Vegas where it's like top tier things. But you're getting your everyday normal food that everybody likes. That's like normal. You're getting like really good food for not that expensive. It's like it's there. Um, Accessibility. We talked about Greenville Airport, Charlotte Airport, Atlanta Airport, very close. When you get here, you don't need an Uber when you want to go out downtown for bars. If you want to go do stuff, maybe you drive during the day to go golfing, um, to go on a brewery tour, like in the surrounding area, to go to a winery in the surrounding area. But for the most part, accessibility, you're not beating it elsewhere. Maybe Vegas, maybe if like I know like just like strip on Vegas, but yeah, like there's so
but
many other
between the
places to go.
traffic on Vegas too, it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Um, and then on the other hand, like if you do need to Uber, they are readily available. Um, Number three, fun. That's where it takes a little bit of a hit. Sorry, not flipping you off. That's where it takes a little bit of a hit in terms of, I'm thinking, broad everybody bachelor party, and that your nightclubs, your late night bars, your dance clubs, your, fun activities, those things aren't as prominent as your like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, like New York City, that kind of thing. But on the other hand, I would say it's almost more fun during the day. And then you have your golf courses, um, your like parks during the day. They have rivers you can float on, lakes you can float on, like fun things to do in the day. The baseball, hockey, like a ton of things you do in the day. You do kind of have to like make your own fun and like find the things to do, which like can be a little bit taxing in terms of like you go to Miami and it's like people come up to you and it's like, yo, come have fun with us, or like there's like you said your story in um were you in New Orleans when they gave you all those like cards and you put them in the bachelors suitcase?
Kroboth in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, that was Vegas. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
that's not happening here. People are coming up to you and giving you cards and saying, come to my club and you can get in and we'll give you bottle service. Like that kind of thing's not happening. So it's one of those things where it's like you do need to plan out. It's like, all right, we're gonna go to this like brewery or this bar, or go to this event or this concert, and then you can have a great time once you do that. But you do need to put in the effort to do that, which some people like doing that, some people don't. Um,
That comes with the bachelor
so
party, right? A little bit of planning.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, you definitely gotta like do your research. But like when you're saying when it's in New Orleans for a homeless bachelor party, it was kind of like I have these 20 different things we can do. It's determining like what we want to do. Where in here it's like you know we can do these five things. It's like when do we want to do them? How long do we want to do them for? Or like what do we want to do? So it's like it's a little
Yeah.
different kind of approach to it. Um, what was the fourth category?
I don't remember. You said just fun?
Food, accessibility, fun, maybe price. That wasn't it. But price, it's a little more expensive than you would think it would be.
Comparative
Like
to
it's
other
not
cities, I don't think it is, though.
compare. It's definitely cheaper than like your Miami, New York, uh,
Vegas, Nashville. Yeah.
Hoboken, Vegas, Nashville. It's definitely like tier wise, it's definitely below that tier, but it's not cheap.
Okay.
To get there, to get there, and the hotel and all that stuff, it definitely is cheaper. The food and drinks is a little pricey,
I think your last one
but
was things to do.
yeah, maybe there was probably things to do. Um, but I don't know. I was looking it up and kind of said it was Greenville is Charleston or Charlotte without the chaos, and Asheville without the weirdness. I was like, that's a pretty
Okay.
good way to put it. So overall, with all that being said, my rating overall for every single Bachelorette party would be a 7.2, which that even might be a little bit high. Between 6.8 and 7.2. I'll say nah, it's a 6.8. It's a 6.8. And just in
Yeah.
terms of like you'll have a good time. You'll have a really good time, and the memories you'll have of the bachelor party will be of inside jokes that you have with the bachelor party, and it won't be of the things that you did at and in Greenville. And I feel like that's
Yeah.
probably that's a really good way. I just thought about it right now. That's a really good way to put it.
I think that
The
was
memories
awesome.
you'll
Off the
have
dome.
are like yeah, the memories you'll have like the bachelor party in Greenville are like the inside jokes that you had.
I like
That's why I
it.
said 6.8.
Okay. All right, 6.8. I mean, that's not a bad one at all.
What you got
Um,
for it?
I'm right there. I'm a little bit lower, but I'm lower for different reasons than you. For food, like you're saying, I gotta disagree. You got some steakhouses there. You got the Grand Bohemian. You got some really nice places. Like I've taken customers out in Greenville, Sabi's, like all this different Italian. You have seafood. You have like all this different pretty nice areas to eat. And you're kind of saying like, oh, there's not a Gordon Ramsay. It's like there's a very nice chopped steakhouse there. It's like I don't know. So I'm not. Yes, you don't have millions of them, but it's not like you can't get luxury American food. But then you can also get your Southern comfort. So I think that's a pretty good range of what a bachelor trip might want, especially your late night eats, burgers, whatever. Like it's all there. Um, Breweries, daytime stuff. So daytime stuff to do. There's a good amount of daytime stuff to do, and like you said, like between festivals, golf, going like traveling just a little bit outside to hit one of those lakes, the river. There's all these things to do, but is it that unique compared to other cities? Not really. There's nothing like so unique about Greenville where it's like, oh well, I'm going to Greenville because this is just like nothing else I've seen before. Not necessarily there. So it's like, why choose here over anywhere else? That's a little bit tougher in my book. So that brings it down a little bit. And especially then nightlife not existing to the point where it's like what a lot of think bachelor and bachelorette parties are going to be wanting. So I kind of, and it's hard to give numbers out because I think I weigh some things heavier than others, but I'm not far off from where you are. I'm putting it at a 6.1. And I think, like you said, like you could have so much fun in this city, but I just don't think it tailors to what every single person is going to be wanting out of their bachelor and bachelorette trip.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, kind of going off that, like, it doesn't have that wow factor that like Miami does, where it's like, oh, this beach is awesome and the nightlife's awesome. It's like wow, or like a Nashville where it's like, oh my God, it's downtown. It's like all these like super famous country artists. It's like doesn't it? Yeah, Greenville doesn't have that that boom wow factor, but
like you said though, like breweries in Asheville. I think Asheville has the breweries, which is like what they have. In Greenville, it's like we have breweries and a little bit more, and maybe like you said, without that weirdness of Asheville, because they're all weird hippies up there, but very good breweries. It's like, okay, yeah, like does it make it? Is it enough to je ne sais quoi?
Yeah, I mean, give me the definition of je ne sais quoi.
It's a uniqueness. French. What? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, right.
It's a certain okay, but all right. I think that's pretty good.
People do come down. A lot of the reason people come down here to Greenville is though that it is South Carolina and it is the South and the weather is awesome.
That's huge.
We have about 2 months of winter, and then like literally since March happened, it's been pretty warm every single weekend, and you can get stuff. And I mean, you were here on Christmas; it was 75 degrees, and we're out on the lake. Like,
yeah,
that's a pretty good reason people come down here.
I gotta say though, when it does get cold, Southerners do not know what to do. We got a little bit of snow and ice in that city, and you and I went out, and that's when we did the interview on the streets. You know what? I'm gonna pop it up right here and play it.
Dakota and Colby here from a mix of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, some pretty decent states up north. And as y'all were saying, you're kind of used to this weather. But tell me a little bit about what you've been up to today.
The wind hurts the most. I mean, I can handle the cold, but the wind is a little piercing. And that's cold. That's cold. But beer from the inside, it's always good.
Exactly. Dakota, how have you been getting through this cold weather? And what have you guys been up to?
Yeah, like Bobby said, it is a little windy, but I love it, honestly. It's nice to get one day of snow. It's the beauty of Greenville. You get a mix of the best weather. And I literally just met these guys 5 minutes ago walking around. That's the beauty of Greenville. We're going to go out, have a drink. Fellow Northern boys.
There we go. Colby, talk to me about the plans for the night tonight. What are you guys going to get into?
So we started off in West Greenville, hit New Round Brewery, absolutely beautiful. They're starting to close early for the weather, but that's all right. We'll start making our way up Main Street. Absolutely beautiful. Everyone's got beers going on, so we're going to go get some more beers. Great. Snow's great, the lights are on, the boys are buzzing, everything is absolutely beautiful. I'm with the boys. What else can you ask for?
What else can you ask for? Ask some guys from Allentown area. You were saying, right? Talk to me. For folks, that are here in the South. Tell me a little bit. Some advice for them to stay warm. As a layering up, is it? What's the best way to do it?
Layers for sure. I probably would have done some headgear. Ears are a bit cold right now. I didn't expect South Carolina to get this cold. The wind is chilling, but layers are always good. I think my brother's got something.
We want triple socks underneath the shoes. That's absolutely crucial. Gloves are key. Get 3 layers of shirts on and a jacket, and then you go out. Mom always told me, layer up before you go. I always told her she was wrong. Turns out she might have been right. You want jacket, shirt, 3 layers underneath, and then you go out, and then you can attack the day.
She's just a mom, not a thermometer.
There we go. Yeah. Well, what's up about you guys in the studio? One thing we taught him a very special, the 4, right, guys? Throw up the 4s. Thank you, everybody for watching. We'll send it back to you, Nigel and Sydney in the studio.
Great interview, Nate, but I gotta.
All right, and we're back.
And I'm going to pop up right here the video of you falling down on the ice because you don't know how to walk on ice.
I'm deleting that out. All right. I challenged so many people that night. Anybody out, I said, all right, let's go see who the longest person is. So many other people ate it. The one where I eat it gets filmed and gets put on TikTok.
Tough one.
It's tough. But, I mean, that city was pretty dead. But every other time I've been there, there's people out. So it's a good time, good city. I do recommend it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just what you want out of your bachelor party, you got to just do the research here.
If you and your friends are a daytime drinking, brewery, golfing, live music, outdoorsy people, Greenville is 100% the spot for you. If your friend group is a kind of stay inside all day / drink / nightclub, go out only at night, might not be for you. But I would say more people are in that first category.
Sure. Yeah, I like it. Well, that's a good mission statement right there for you. Look, we got a little bit extra time here, and I wanted to run a little segment. And I've done this with Kroboth a couple times where it's called $15 is $15. Segment time. All right, so $15 is $15. I'm going to give you 5 categories, and it's going to be ranked like $5, $4, $3, $2, and $1. You have $15 to pick from these 5 categories, and you're only going to get one at a time, okay? So what you're doing here in these 5 categories is building the perfect bachelor group for you. All right? So the first category, $5. These are the athletes. $5, you have LeBron. 4, Travis Kelce. 3, Pat McAfee. 2, Draymond Green. And 1, Antonio Brown.
Oh, I gotta take Antonio Brown.
What?
I gotta take Antonio Brown. That's
Taking
the only correct answer there.
The $1 early.
I was considering taking Pat McAfee. Antonio Brown would just be the all-time best person to ever have in a bachelor party.
That's a loose cannon, though.
It is. He might be, touching stuff in the resort pool, but we don't have to go there. However,
okay,
he's a fun dude and would have a great time.
All right. Well, you have $14 left.
Heck yeah, I do.
Actor, $5. Ryan Reynolds. 4, Kevin Hart. 3, Matthew McConaughey. 2, Shia LaBeouf. And 1, Charlie Sheen.
I gotta take Kevin Hart there.
Okay.
Gotta take Kevin Hart. All those ones suck.
All right, $10 left with 3 categories to go. Music guy, Drake, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, Kanye West, or Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Can you read them again? I'll go with Morgan Wallen 6'9".
You got Drake.
Drake was 5.
No, yeah, Drake, Morgan Wallen, Post Malone, Kanye West, and Tekashi 6'9".
Kanye would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, I would.
I gotta go Post Malone.
Good one. I like it. Crushing Bud Lights all day.
So I have a 5 and a 1 left. I mean, a 5 and a 2 left.
Or you can split them.
Absolutely not.
All right. I don't think you're gonna like these ones. All right. So wait. So that was $3. So you have 7 left. All right. Politician. Obama, Trump, Biden, Pelosi, or your local city councilwoman.
You know who I'm choosing. Cannons.
Pelosi it is.
Give me Pelosi.
Oh my god. All right, well that gives you 5 left, and I think honestly I don't know which one you're gonna take here. I think you might have money to spare because I don't know who I would take. This is the wild card. You have number 5 Dana White, number 4 Guy Fieri, 3 Rob Gronkowski, 2 Johnny Knoxville, 1 Bam Margera.
Oh. I have $5. Guy would be sick. He just cooked for us the entire weekend.
So sick. Absolutely.
That's gangster. Welcome to Flavor Town.
Dana White, though, gets you into a little UFC match, too.
Dana White would give us so much money to go spend at the casino.
Oh, my God. It'd be sick.
And
gets you in a little fight night action.
I'm going for a good time, though. I'm going to spend my $5 and get Gronk and Johnny Knoxville. I don't really care if I have to choose 5 people. I don't care. I'm breaking the rules. I'm going Gronk and Johnny Knoxville.
Okay. I don't hate that at all. I love that.
If I had to choose one of them, I would choose Gronk and then spend the 2 remaining on an extra Pelosi.
Oh God! All right. So your group right now: Antonio Brown, Kevin Hart, Post Malone, Nancy Pelosi, Rob Gronkowski, and Nancy Pelosi. I don't think
know who else I could even choose on there.
I think Antonio Brown's hooking up with Pelosi.
He's gotta. I'd probably watch.
All right, Colby.
Incredible. What a list.
$15 is $15. That's the end of this segment. And I think that is the end of this episode. What a killer episode. Colby, thank you so much for coming on and hosting this episode of Drunken Suits.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, please like, subscribe. Please, share to your friends, comment. If you guys have a good city or a good story, we want to hear it. So please let us know. But thank you guys for being a fan. Thank you guys for listening. And can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. See ya.
It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to the beach town vibes. We're laughing or party, you're in for a ride. It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to beach town vibes. We're laughing or party, you're in for a ride. Bachelor mayhem, city lights glow. Wild adventures, let the good times roll. Planning tips, crazy trips, we've got the guide for the ultimate party, no thrill denied. Raise your glass, set the tone. This is the party before you know. Bachelor stories, we're bringing the heat. Let's get this started, time to take your seat. crazy trips, we've got the guide for the ultimate party.